Hello everyone, so with my ongoing mission to sort the workshop out, I put my table saw and bandsaw on casters. Now I want to sort some other bits out. I've got this camvac dust extractor and I've got this Cyclone dust separator. So they're both taking up floor space, but what I think is if I can make a stand and mount them on top of each other, it's going to halve the floor space it takes up. So I need to work out how tall this thing needs to be. There needs to be a gap definitely between these two so I can get the cables and pipes in. So even with a decent gap, I think I can get away with doing basically the width of the plywood. So 122, and then I don't have to do any more cutting. So yeah, now how wide will it need to be? Okay, let's get some bits cut. I've picked up some cheap 18mm ply to use for this. So I've got a bit cut that's going to be the base and the back of this, but it's going to need some supports. So what I have is this offcut, and what I think I can do is cut from corner to corner on the diagonal and then make two braces out of it. These bits now need screwing together, but before I do that, I've got my #1 workshop rule, and that is everything on casters. So I've bought these little 50mm ones, and I think it'd be easier to get the holes drilled while everything's still flat packed. So I can mark out where the holes need to go, drill some pilot holes, and then drill down with a Forstner bit so that the heads of the bolts are going to be recessed. So now I can get the 4 bits, the back, the base and the 2 side braces glued and screwed together. Straight away I put the glue on the wrong bit. So that's going to fit in the bottom, but I need a way to get this to sit above it. Now I want this to go on securely, but also be really quick to take on and off to empty. So what I think I'm going to do is make a wooden hook that will fit onto the barrel and then go into a receiving bit on the back of this. And what I've got is a nice bit of 2x2 pine. So I'm going to get a couple of bits of this cut down and glued together to make my hook. I'm just waiting for the glue to dry on this hook thing, but the hook needs something to go into, and what I have is a few scraps of a much nicer plywood. So I'm going to rip these down to make a little housing for the hook. These 3 bits can now get glued and screwed together to make a little channel for the hook. So this bit is going to get screwed onto the back. So I'm just going to work out where it needs to go and then draw around it. I want to drive some screws in from the back to lock it in place, but to help me line them up, I'm going to drill some pilot holes through the front. I'll get some glue on the back of this bit, get it into place, and drive some screws in from the back. This dust extractor has a nice feature where if you remove these caps, you can plug in a hose for the exhaust, and that makes the whole thing run so much quieter. This is a twin motor machine, so I've got 2 of these ports. So what I'm going to do is mark out on the back of this a couple of holes and get those drilled so I can run the ports out the back. Plywood's pretty expensive at the moment, so I got the cheapest stuff I could, but this stuff is pretty horrible. So I'm going to give it a paint with the same stuff I used to do the bandsaw stand. The paint's now dry on this, so time to get the casters put on. Now I need to get this barrel attached with the hook. So what I'm going to do is take the top of the barrel, get this hook lined up, and then just drive some screws in from the inside to lock it into place. I don't want the heads of the screws to pull through, so I've got these little rubber roofing washers I'm going to stick on and get screwed in place. Right, let's see if this thing fits on here. Ah, yeah, excellent. So the stand's all made. Now I need to get it set up. So first I've got one of these reducers from 100mm down to 63mm that's going to go into the dust extractor. Then I can get the hose hooked up between the dust extractor and the separator. And I use these double wire hose clips because I think they work best onto these kind of wired hoses. This hose is 2 meters long, which means it'll be quite loose on here. So I'm always reluctant to cut hoses because in case you want to use it for something else in the future, but I think I'm going to have to. If I can get my cutters out of my pocket. Yeah, that's going to be a lot less annoying. Right, now and get that hose in that's going to reduce the sound. So that just plugs in to the top. I need to feed it through that hole I drilled in the back. Now this hose is also quite long, but I don't want to cut it off because the longer it is, the better job it's going to do of actually reducing the sound. Now you can get things, I think they're called saddle clips, that are designed for holding pipes and hoses, but I'm mean, so I'm going to use something I've got, and that's some scraps of leather. So I'm going to get those cut down and use those to attach this on. Right, that's neat on the back, but the eagle-eyed amongst you might notice my stupid mistake. I really didn't want to cut this hose down, did it, so it fitted perfectly, and now I look at it, it doesn't need to go on this port, it needs to go on the top one. So this has got to go off. The hose that isn't cut now needs to go on here. What an idiot. Right, I fixed my stupid mistake. Now, the hose goes on here, but I'm going to use a different type of hose clip. I'm going to use these springy ones, which means it's just super quick to take these hoses on and off. So I've got a second one of these clips on this end. That means I can really quickly attach it to the back of my bandsaw or to my planer thicknesser. And then what I'm going to get, which I don't have at the moment, is another hose. So that comes off there really quickly. That one goes on the outside, but I've got these ones that plug in the inside. This is a CTS separator, and CTS do these hoses that go in, and you might have seen me using the quick connectors over the years. So I'm going to get a hose like that, and then I have the bigger hose that can do my machines, and the smaller hose with the adapters that can do all my power tools. So that's it all done for now. Nice and quiet with that hose added to it. All moves around pretty easily. With that hook for the barrel, it should be pretty simple to change. The hose comes off easily with those quick clips. Now I might add some more accessories to it in the future. I've got a handle on this, and I don't think I need one. I think I'll just grab onto whatever bits in front of me to move it around. It's not heavy or difficult to move. As I say, I'm going to get the other hose, so maybe I want some hose management when I get that. At the moment, this one hanging down is fine. I don't know if I'm going to want some cable management. I think at the moment, I'm just happy shoving it into the gap at the bottom when I'm not using it. Also, I want to get the new hose and have all the quick connectors, so I might do a little shelf on it for that. But for the time being, I think this is great. Easy to move around and takes up less floor space. So thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.